Welcome, everyone, to episode 4 of the CS Sports Talk. I'm Lily Maddox, and I'm here with Sean Campbell.
Woo! How are you doing, Lily?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Did you have a good holiday weekend?
I had a wonderful holiday weekend. Yeah.
Nice.
How was yours?
It was fabulous. I got a refrigerator full of tamales still. What more can I want?
Perfect.
I'm putting on a few pounds this week, Lily, and but it's all going to start to go away next week.
It doesn't count when it's over the holidays. So.
That's right. Somebody told me that,
Yeah.
and I think you're right. It doesn't count, and these are empty calories.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Then reality hits us next week. Hits me next week.
Awesome. Well, we hope you guys all had an awesome holiday weekend and had some fun watching some sports.
Lots of sports.
Yes.
Lots of sports.
Lots of sports. I had lots of fun watching the Raiders win on Christmas Day. That was probably my favorite gift.
You know what? I enjoyed it too.
It was good.
I enjoyed it too. And I think part of the reason was because of Mr. Mahomes' little outburst a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. I think it's just getting more fun to watch him lose now.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but it's because before I was kind of indifferent. Thought he was a great player. Still think he's a great player.
Yeah.
But his little attitude a few weeks ago kind of was, I was pulling for your Raiders.
Yep, that's what it does to
I was pulling for your Raiders.
Yeah, I definitely was too. It was a great game, and it was very fun to watch for me and my family. So.
You don't always see 2 touchdowns scored in 7 seconds.
Yep, there we go. Yeah, we don't have that as one of our topics, but we can talk about it real quick. Yeah. Actually, one of the first times in I don't know how many years, but many years that a team on 2 games back-to-back scored back-to-back defensive touchdowns.
Oh, that's right.
So, that and they scored 2 defensive touchdowns in 7 seconds. So, that
cornerback was involved in both of those instances.
Yeah, yep.
I didn't realize this, but he was he got cut by the Raiders like in week 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The guy's unreal.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah,
and he's definitely a good addition. Yeah.
Wow.
And so that was super fun for me to watch. So that was the highlight of my sports weekend. But we've got some points that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And we're going to start with one of Sean's favorite topics, and that's why it's at the top. The Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
The
Los Angeles Dodgers. And we had a guest from a podcast you produced just right now for Login, which is a tremendous. We should ask Matt if he wants to sponsor the show. Ooh. I hear it's kind of popular in the household.
It's quite popular.
Just kidding. But yeah, the gentleman he had on, Sal, the tremendous dude, was like, "Is that a Boston Red Sox?" And I was like, "What did you say?" Right? Did you catch me on that one? When he asked me if it was a Red Sox hat, I'm all, "No, sir. This is a Brooklyn Dodgers hat." And he's from New York. Sal's from New York, and didn't know that. So,
that's funny.
And we need to add. This is the question of the week, also.
Okay.
Whether you're a baseball fan or not, I'm sure you've seen that this offseason, the Dodgers had invested over $1 billion into 2 players. Shohei Ohtani, and a pitcher from Japan as well, Yakamoto, phenomenal pitcher. Shohei got $700 million, and Yakamoto got $300 plus. So what are your thoughts on that? Is it fair? Is it okay that the Dodgers were able to do this? There's a lot of upheaval about this from baseball fans, actually, that they think the Dodgers are playing unfair. But I mean, it's in my opinion. I mean, it's a very unpopular opinion, really. But especially the Diamondbacks fans, they're like, "Yeah, this is going to be even sweeter when we beat the Dodgers this year." And if any Diamondbacks fan has ever been to a Diamondbacks game against the Dodgers are the reason that the Diamondbacks are able to pay their players. Honestly.
Wow.
About 3/4 of the stands it's Dodgers blue. It's LA East, So the Diamondbacks are lucky that they've had the Dodgers, the Giants, the Padres. Now with interleague play, the Yankees and the Red Sox are going to be in every other year. Think about it. Who has been able to pay the salaries for the Diamondbacks players? Your opponents have. Because honestly, Diamondbacks fans, your team has done a horrible job besides changing your cute little uniforms every year at marketing your team. Finally, you put a winner on the field this year. Admittedly, they were fun to watch between us and our viewers. But before that, I mean, it was 4 or 5 World Series ago. It was the year before the pandemic, I believe. It was Washington and Houston. Do you know how many ex-Diamondbacks players were on those teams? I think it was 13.
Wow.
13 ex-Diamondbacks players were on those two teams combined. The Diamondbacks have always been a team that has got rid of their better players for younger players. And finally, they struck gold this year. How sustainable is this going to be? Before their best players again, before you turn them over and you become fans of somebody of their team, you'll be wearing Dodger blue. But it's the economics of the game is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whether you're a small market team or a mid-market team, you have to learn how to play the game, that aspect of it.
Yeah.
And if not, then you do what the A's did. And you're moving to Las Vegas for a bigger pool. But even if you're a small market team, the A's were a great example of a small market team who reinvented themselves and invested in players that other people didn't believe in. Watch Moneyball, right? But you got to just learn how to play the game. And it's sports. I mean, if you're feeling sorry for yourself and your team because the Dodgers know how to run an organization, you know who leads the league in attendance year after year? The Dodgers.
Yep.
The next closest team was the Yankees. Excuse me, but the Dodgers have an average of 6,000 more people in every game.
Wow.
82 games, home games, 81 games, 81 home games. Their average ticket price, considering the expensive ones, is $161. So you take that extra 6,000 people times $161 times 81, and that's about 90 million, I think. So it pays for those two players just for putting a good product on the field.
Wow.
Just for having a good team.
Yeah.
Just for running an organization, and they invest in the minor leagues like crazy. They were the first major team to put all their minor league players on good diets, nutrition, the trainers. They treat their minor league players like major league players. So when they come up to the major leagues, they're not in awe. They've been there, done that before. So why can't the other teams do that too?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my little rant.
Takes. Yeah, there we go.
That's my little rant. And if you're crying about it, then write a letter to the owner of your team and tell them to do a better job. I don't know. It is what it is.
Well, you guys let us know what you think about that topic. If you guys think, I don't know, it's a little cheating, or if you guys like what the Dodgers are doing. So let us know.
And it's funny because some of the little comments on social media are saying that the Dodgers don't have the money. They have the money. And you can't penalize a team that's well run.
Yeah.
You know, granted, they've only won one World Series since '89. But, I mean,
you never know.
They want to win more.
Yeah.
So let's go from a great winning team to a team that's not doing so hot right now.
Yeah, so the Detroit Pistons. So basketball fans, we're talking about their 27th straight loss, which is the most in a single season NBA history.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sorry if you're a Pistons fan. That's got to be a tough season watching 27 straight losses. They got their 27th this weekend against the Nets, I believe.
I believe so, yeah.
So, yeah.
Have you ever been on a losing team like that?
Once.
Really?
A long time ago, in my flag football days, when I was the only girl on the team, before I was on an all-girls team, our team was not good, and I don't like losing.
Yeah.
So. But it was just once. It was one team. We still had fun. We liked each other, so That's was good. Like we kind of... After we lost a little bit, we knew we were going to keep losing. So we're like, let's just have some fun because it's not. But yeah, most of the kids on my team were very competitive like me. And I I would still, even if we were having fun, I would be pretty upset after every loss. So that was only one year that we were not good. But yeah, it's tough. It's hard.
Could you imagine doing that for a living and losing 27 straight though?
No. Yeah. It's tough.
The coach is Monty Williams, I believe, right? I could be wrong on this, but I believe it's Monty Williams who coached the Suns to their championship run just a few years ago.
Wow. That's got to be hard for a coach.
Yeah. I saw the press conference and he's not handling it all that well.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I would either, going from a team like the Suns to the Pistons. So
yeah, but as it relates to business, I mean, imagine if we had a few rough months here where, we're very good, but what if we had lost a few clients and weren't able to sign in? And I mean, what would you do as a key contributor to CS to kind of keep the spirits up?
Yeah, well, just not let it get to you and let it get your head down. I think from what you said, that might be what the coach is getting at, just kind of defeated. I mean, it's hard after 27 losses. You must be defeated, but to move forward from something like that, you can't let it get you down, not for long at least. I know I would get pretty upset right after a game, but you got to snap back. So just keeping that attitude and your head up and thinking what you can do to be better, because obviously whatever they're doing is not working. So being able to adapt and keep moving forward, for sure.
So 27 games, that's about a quarter of the season that they've lost consecutively already. Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
But, I mean, all these guys, and admittedly, I don't know the whole roster, but you would imagine that most of these guys came from like winning college programs and winning high school programs.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's easy to, but what else could the team do collectively or individually to kind of, besides hire, the cook on the other team the night before to give them food poisoning?
Yeah. It's hard to say what's going on and I'm not sure what their season was like before this, do you?
Well, last year it wasn't like, they haven't been relevant for years, to be honest. They've been kind of lousy. Back in my day, they were pretty good. They were awesome. They were a team that you would never want your favorite team to face because they would just, the rules back in that day when they were known as the bad boys, much more of a physical game. A few more acceptable brawls on the court. But I've been on a couple losing teams like that were pretty bad. Yeah. And it was just miserable.
It's hard.
Just miserable.
Yeah, it's definitely hard.
Especially when you're competitive.
Yeah.
You know? So it's going to be interesting. I hope they win. I really do.
I know.
Because I don't want.
I wonder how much longer it's going to go.
Yeah, it's not like we enjoy
so.
talking about this. We're talking about the aspect of what do you do if you are a losing team?
Yeah.
Where do you start? Mm-hmm. And I had no idea where to start, to be honest.
It's
change the uniforms.
We're rooting for you, Pistons.
We are rooting for you. It's too bad Aaron wasn't. Aaron's on vacation.
Oh yeah,
he's I think he has family from Detroit.
Yeah,
he was wearing. Was it? Oh, his Lions.
His Lions
jersey.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure he could have pitched.
Maybe that's why he's not here this week because he knew we would talk about his Pistons.
Yeah. Oh, poor Aaron.
It's like I'm just going to take the week.
Yeah. Well, we're going to shift a little bit. Same sort of theme of attitude. We're moving on to Jaire Alexander of the Packers. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but they played Carolina, and he was not named a captain, but who was still at the coin toss? He walked up there as a captain and was not named a captain. And I learned this about it, that I guess he messed up the coin toss.
He did.
I didn't know that before Shawn told me. So
he did. He was a captain, wasn't supposed to be a captain, and then when the Packers won the coin toss, and it's very technical because when you win the toss, you have to say whether you accept or whether you defer. Accepting meaning you're going to accept the kickoff, have first possession of the game.
Yeah.
If you defer, that means you give the decision to the other team. They're going to accept the ball, and then you are going to accept the ball in the second half.
Yeah.
It's concise. Jaire didn't say that.
I want defense.
We're going to be on defense. And so he made the decision. His decision was that they're going to be on defense first.
Yeah.
Meaning that if the refs didn't clarify this, that they would have been on defense for the first part of the first half and the first possession of the second half. Mm-hmm. But Coach Lafleur came to the rescue.
Yeah.
So before every game, and I think they had messed up, I think if I read the story right, they've messed this up a few years back. And so that's why Coach Lafleur of the Packers goes to the refs before every single game and tells them if we win the toss, we're going to defer.
Yeah.
So that the refs actually clarified it when Jaire said, yeah, we're going to be on defense. And the refs actually said, well, you actually mean you're going to defer, right?
Yeah.
And that's when he was corrected.
Yeah. So that happened against Carolina, and news came out that he is now going to be suspended for the game against the Vikings. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I want to know what you guys think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that decision. But I was reading a little bit about it, and coaches were saying it's always a tough decision to suspend a player, especially because Jaire is
he's good.
He's a phenomenal football player. He is good. And against the Vikings, who aren't very good this season, but they are rivals for the Packers. Mm-hmm. So you probably want to put up good numbers because the Packers aren't doing that great this season either.
Matters.
Exactly.
It's a game that matters.
Exactly.
I think Minnesota, is technically still kind of in the run, but
Packers
Green Bay's
are,
definitely are there. Mm-hmm. I think part of that decision to make it acceptable was that the tight end for the Vikings, he's out.
He's out for the season.
So it's one less dude on offense. Plus, they're down to their second or third string quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it makes it easier, but it's still. Jaire is good.
Yeah, he's good.
Legit.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal corner, and but I think that says a lot about the leadership, like saying we don't put up with this because it was a weird thing for somebody to do. Granted, he was from Carolina, so I think he figured he was going to be a captain for that game, but he knew he wasn't, and he still went out there, which I think is unacceptable.
So there's two ways there's a better way he could have done that.
Yeah, he could have said, hey, coach, I'm from Carolina, right? Like, I would like to be a captain so I can go shake their hand. I can call the coin toss. I would really like that. Yeah. But no, with no communication, he goes out there. So I think it's good for leadership to kind of step in and just say, this is not how we run our organization. We're not going to let players walk over the top decision, because in any organization, I think that's how it should go. So.
Yeah, and if you have had to make that tough decision, how did it go?
Yeah.
Well, when your key employees just doesn't show up for a day because, and then you see on the social that he's in Phoenix, watching a Metallica concert or something, right?
Yeah. No communication, just decides they want to do something.
Yeah. I think it's a good move that they suspended him.
I agree.
And it's a lot easier to do when you have a second or third string dude.
Yeah.
But so I actually commend the Packers.
Yeah. I think it was the right move. I know it was a tough move, definitely for the game they've got coming up, but I think it was the right move. Let us know what you guys think about that one.
No.
But for our last topic, we are going to preview a game close to home for us.
Tomorrow night. The biggest game the UofA's had in a handful of years.
Yeah.
We're playing a very good team. I'm glad we got Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So we are 14th ranked, they're 11th. And before we started this podcast, there's an outside shot, Lily, but we got to beat Oklahoma pretty convincingly.
Yeah.
Oklahoma has no defense. We're also I know that because I was watching a game against Kansas that beat them, because Oklahoma has a porous defense. Rumor has it I had a bet on that game. When I say I bet, every amount is $1. I bet $1. When I say I bet, I'm on FanDuel. Every time I bet, it's $1. But my goal is to turn my $10 I put in about 6-7 months ago into $100.
Okay.
You know how much money I got in there right now?
How much?
$10.68. So I got a ways to go.
Yeah.
So I lost a bet on that one. And just because Oklahoma's defense is absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
So, and their starting quarterback's not playing.
Okay.
He entered the transfer portal, I believe it was. Did he enter transfer portal? Something like that. He's not going to be there. So I think we got a shot. If we beat him convincingly.
Yeah.
And then if other top teams ahead of us, we need a lot of them to lose. Mm-hmm. Then maybe we could finish in the top 10, number 10.
Wow.
Which would be pretty cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But
do you have any predictions on the game?
I mean, I don't know. I would like the U of A to win for sure. But I don't know. We'll see because I feel like it could go either way. So
yeah, I've watched a few bowl games over the weekend, and by far, I think Oklahoma and U of A is going to be the most entertaining so far.
Oh, it's going to be good.
These other teams that look really bad so far. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I've watched a handful of other bowl games, and I didn't even get through a quarter. I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible. It's like bad football, bad whatever, and it's just not. It hasn't been fun to watch for me personally.
Yeah.
Usually bowl games are fun to watch.
Yeah.
But not this year so far. It's been kind of awful.
But you know what hopefully will be good to watch? The Arizona Bowl.
Ooh.
So
yeah.
If you guys don't know, if you're in Tucson, the Arizona Bowl's on Saturday. And we got Wyoming and Toledo. And we'll be there. So
Yep. You're going to be there. I will be there. I'm going to be there all day Friday out on the lawn. I'm co-chairing the tailgating event. I'll be there 6:30 in the morning Saturday, getting ready.
Don't be there that early.
Don't be that early. I think between Friday and Saturday, I want to put in over 100,000 steps.
That's his goal. We'll keep you
That's
guys
my
updated.
goal, to walk off all the tamales I'm eating. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Two really good teams. Toledo's really good. Wyoming has a chip on their shoulder because it's the third time they've been to this bowl and they haven't won it yet.
Yeah.
Their legendary coach, I don't know his name, but he's been there forever. This is going to be his last game. Last year at the VIP tent for Wyoming, did I tell you this already?
Yeah.
There was 450 people, which is
a lot.
And their fans are spectacular. They're a lot of fun. This year they're going to have 2,000.
2,000. And how many Toledo?
Oh, I think it's like a quarter of it.
Yeah.
That's not disrespect to Toledo. They're still having a good turnout. But compared to Wyoming.
Just because they've been here before, they know what it's about.
If anybody wants to invade Wyoming, if you ever wanted to invade the state of Wyoming, no one's going to be there.
Yeah.
They're all going to be here in Tucson. So you can just go through Cheyenne, go to wherever you want, take what you want.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be closed.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Wyoming is beautiful.
Everybody's going to be here in Tucson. So you could just
there you go. There's your chance.
There's your
chance.
Don't
know who's thinking of that, but if you are.
I wasn't thinking of it. That's just what I heard. That's just what I heard. So
awesome.
As soon as the tailgating event is over, I got a flight into Cheyenne. I'm going to parachute down.
I thought you were being serious for a second.
There was no one at the airport, so I have to parachute down into the state, and then I'm going to name myself governor for the state of Wyoming.
There you go. You think the governor will be at the Arizona Bowl?
Of course.
Of course. Of course.
If the governor is there, he'll be at the VIP section.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take a little selfie with the governor.
Okay.
That's my goal, is to take a selfie with somebody that's some status.
I actually met the governor of Wyoming, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. Another shout out to my mom. She won us a family trip to Wyoming with a whole bunch of other families from these other states. And so it was very organized and set up. This is a while ago, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fun fact.
Your mom, who was on the cover of Garmin magazine or something like that?
Well, I actually got that wrong. It wasn't the cover, but she was the
featured
picture
in the
of
ad.
the Garmin magazine.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. Every time I do something well, I took a picture of my Garmin and it got tagged by Garmin. You're like, oh yeah, my mom was on that.
Yeah, whatever.
Small potatoes, Sean. Small potatoes.
Speaking of my family, my aunt wanted me to talk about the Bengals, but we're just waiting for them to do something first, and then
it may be next year. Aunt, what's her name?
Aunt Aunt Kathy.
Maybe next year, Aunt Kathy.
Yeah, maybe next year. Love you.
With Jogan, kind of get his little wrist.
Yeah.
Their quarterback's actually done pretty well.
Yeah, not too bad, but.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too great this past week.
Yeah.
Anyway. Just like my Cowboys next year.
Yeah, next year. The Cowboys fans say that every year, though.
No, but I mean it.
But you're serious.
I am the most realistic Cowboys fan on the planet.
That is true.
I'm the most realistic.
Sometimes.
I love my team.
Yeah.
I love Dak.
Yeah.
I love my team.
But you will.
They can't win on the road.
No,
they can't win on the road. And if they have to go into San Francisco or Philly in the playoffs,
not gonna happen.
I'm probably not gonna watch. All right, I'm just being honest.
Well, I'll watch, but
you'll fill me in. Appreciate that.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys all so much for watching or listening. Make sure you guys subscribe or follow wherever you guys are watching this on. And you can follow both of us on LinkedIn, and we'll post more on there. And maybe we'll see you guys at the Arizona Bowl.
Yeah, next week. Look forward to talking about the results of the bowl.
Yes.
Results of the Arizona game.
Yeah.
And who knows what else? Who knows who else, if the Pistons break their streak?
We'll see. Hopefully.
We'll see. I'll be pulling for them.
We want you to. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, guys.